Hey, you know, I didn't know y'all liked talking about NAS systems so much on this channel. I've done 2 videos already on the UGREEN DXP4800 Plus NAS system, and all the comments were great. They got a lot more views than I expected, and a lot of people were in the comments like, yo, picked one up, it's amazing. But there were also some people like, you know what, I want a little bit more than the DXP4800 Plus can offer. So then UGREEN hit me up like, yo, Terry, we got the DXP6800 Pro. You can show them the big boy. And I was like, okay. So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. A few reasons why you might choose the DXP6800 Pro over the amazing DXP4800 Plus. And yes, this video is sponsored by UGREEN. Feel how you wanna feel about that. I don't care. Let's get it. What's up, y'all? It's Tyson Terry Warfield back for another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Remember to be thankful for your freaking life today because you did not have to have it. If you want to watch how these things get set up and all of that stuff, then I'll link this video to DXP4800 Plus setup at the end of this video because it's essentially the same thing as the DXP6800 Pro. A high-level overview of what a NAS system is basically like having your own network attached storage, right? Or your own cloud, right? So these give you amazing features that a lot of other NAS systems out there don't give you. You can access them remotely, you can control them remotely, you can upload and download files to them remotely. They have a ton of storage capability, they have a lot of fast IO, and also they have a lot of AI stuff built into it, like AI photo albums and all that stuff. I use this to back up my iPhone, and as soon as I walk in the house, it automatically backs up. It stores any new photos or videos I took. It's so dope. So let's go ahead and talk about a few reasons why you might want to choose the DXP6800 Pro over the DXP4800 Plus. Reason number 1, so the DXP4800 Plus is a 4-bay NAS system, right? So there's 4 drives in here, plus there's 2 slots for NVMe SSDs. That means you can have a total of 136 freaking terabytes of storage in this little tiny compartment right here, which is more than enough for most people, right? Now, this also depends on the RAID configuration you set up, but that's a whole different ballpark. With the DXP6800, this is a 6-bay NAS system, plus you still have 2 NVMe slots in this one as well. So you get up to 136 terabytes on the DXP4800 Plus, but you get up to 196 terabytes on the DXP6800 Pro. So if you're running like more advanced environments, or you have a lot of users trying to connect to it at the same time, or you just need to store more, you do have more storage capacity on the DXP6800 Pro than you do the DXP4800 Plus. Now, I know we talked about RAID setups, right? And I'm not gonna get all like hyper nerdy into the different types of RAID setups, but you do have some that you can't access unless you go with a 6-bay NAS or higher. Example, this one right here is set up for RAID 5, which is a pretty general RAID configuration. It gives you a decent mix between reliability and performance, right? Well, on the DXP6800 Pro, because you have 6 bays, that means you can configure it in either RAID 6 or RAID 10. And Terry, what on earth does that mean? Okay, with a RAID 5 configuration in the DXP4800 Plus, let's say 2 of these drives were to fail at one time. Well, guess what? You lost all that data in those drives. Well, with a RAID 6 configuration, because we have 6 bays, let's just say 2 drives were to fail in this one. Well, that means that you don't lose any data, because through that wizardry that it does, it makes sure that your data was safe and you don't lose any data. You just need to swap those drives out. Now, there's also RAID 10, and it's kind of like RAID 6, but it's a little bit faster, but you lose a little bit on the redundancy side. Again, I'm trying not to get all super nerdy. Basically, what this all boils down to with the DXP6800 Pro, you get more available storage and more options when it comes to not losing your data. This is super important if you run like complex environments and all that stuff. That's for you. Now, the next thing is the DXP6800 Pro is faster. Now, that's not to say that the DXP4800 Plus is a slouch. This uses Intel's 12th gen Pentium Gold 6-core 8505 chip. And basically what that means is this is fast enough to handle most of your computing and storage needs when it comes to dealing with a NAS system, right? So transferring files back and forth, you know, constantly accessing, reading, writing, maybe running it as a media server, all of those things this can handle with no problem. Where you might run into a problem is when you have multiple users trying to transfer information to and from it. Maybe you have multiple users trying to use this as a media server. That is where you might get a little bit of a bottleneck on the DXP4800 Plus. With the DXP6800 Pro comes with a much beefier chip. So this is a Core i5 10-core chip with 2 performance cores. So basically what this means is if you are into running multiple environments at one time, or you want to use this as a huge bay for multiple people to read, write, access files, all of that stuff, the DXP6800 Pro has more headroom for processing than the DXP4800 Plus will. So this is really going to be tailored to people who need to run more complex environments. And then there's a little icing on the cake with the DXP6800 Pro. If you needed some more or you want to run a type of application that's hugely GPU dependent, you can actually connect the external GPU to the DXP6800 Pro. Now there's one other major thing before I talk about overall what both of these offer. I kind of, gave you a little bit of it at the beginning of the video, but I want to rehash them, and that is the amount of available connections on the DXP6800 Pro versus the DXP4800 Plus. So just looking at the front of it, you can see that both of them have an SD card slot. The SD card slot on the DXP6800 Pro is a faster version than what's on the DXP4800 Plus. I'm surprised I'm not getting tongue-tied. Anyways, on the DXP6800 Pro, you got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. On the front of the DXP4800 Plus, you get a USB-C port. I guess I'm gonna have to turn these around. Hold on. Now, both of them have the magnetic dust cover right here, which is fire. Starting on the left-hand side, they both have HDMI. However, the HDMI port out of the DXP6800 Pro supports up to 8K, whereas the 4800 Plus only supports 4K. You also get 3 USB-A ports on the back of each one. That's one USB 3.2 and the other are USB 2.0. Now, the next one is where there's a huge difference. So the DXP4800 Plus has 2 LAN ports. One of them is a 2.5, the other one is a 10 gig port, right? Now the DXP6800 Pro also has 2 LAN ports, but both of these are 10 gig ports versus one 2.5 and one 10 gig port. So if you're somebody who needs that additional throughput, you know who you are. The DXP6800 Pro gives you 2 10 gig ports. I guess I'll go ahead and turn these back around. Now both of these share a lot of my favorite features that I've ever used on any NAS system. The DXP6800 Pro is just like beefed up, right? What are some of those things? Being able to use the UGREEN NAS app pretty much anywhere, from an iPhone, from an Android phone, from a computer, whatever. You can literally stream your media and stuff off of these NAS systems directly to your phone, no matter where you're at, as long as you're on a solid connection. On top of that, of course, you can also use the app to control everything about these NAS systems remotely. Now, one of my other favorite things is if you use like Google Photos or Google Drive, or if you have an iPhone, it can back up your photos automatically. So you can set this up to whenever you connect back to your home network, it automatically backs up for it to back up at night. And that way you don't have to worry about paying Apple or Google for more storage, because you got all the storage you need right here. One of my other things, because obviously I'm a creator, you can actually send people your own links to download files right off of here instead of using like Google Drive or Dropbox. And again, yes, those are supported, but I prefer to just be able to do it right from my own NAS. Now, I want you to think about how powerful this remote system is. Let's just say you're a video creator, right? And you out in the field, maybe you in a different state, and you need to offload some footage to your editor. A lot of people are used to using like Frame.io and all that stuff, and that stuff works fine. But you could also just plug up your camera to your phone and upload the files remotely directly to your NAS. And because you've given your editor also access to your NAS remotely, or even if it's locally, they can start pulling these files right away and get to work without you having to come back and transfer all the files. You can do it all from the field. Obviously, you can install apps and all that stuff on both of these. And to piggyback on the photo backup thing, these also do AI locally when it comes to people recognition and all that stuff. So it will literally go through all of your photos, categorize them by faces, places, all of that stuff. And you can easily just go and tap one person and it'll pull all the photos of this one person out of the entire library, so you don't have to go searching for it. The AI stuff on here is honestly next level. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either of these NAS systems. The DXP4800 Plus has been rock solid for me. I've been using it for a couple months now. It's full of technology, it's fast, it's expandable, and it just freaking works, right? And for people who might need a little bit more than that, like me, honestly, then this is where the DXP6800 Pro comes in, because it gives you all of this stuff, just beefs it up on steroids. Make sure that y'all check the links down there in the description. I will make sure to keep these updated with the best prices, so make sure you shop them and let me know what you think about these two NAS systems and which one appeals more to you. UGREEN has been making a lot of noise in this NAS space, in the storage space, so shout out to UGREEN for sponsoring this video. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. Anyways, I'm out of here. Tight shirt, Terry Warfield. Peace and chicken grease. Much love, y'all. Peace.